Welcome back, everyone. Ready to dive in?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, so today we're taking a deep dive into something that I think is super relevant to all of us. Really, it's clinical trials.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, those like essential steps, right, for developing any new treatment, whether it's, I don't know, new medications or therapies, whatever.
Right.
So we came across this article.
Okay.
It's actually targeted towards the finance teams.
Got it.
The people who are, behind the scenes making sure that these trials are running smoothly, at least from like a money perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But it had this really interesting solution that I honestly never would have thought of.
Really?
Patient stipend platforms. Have you heard of these?
Yeah. I've actually come across them recently. There's a lot of buzz, I think, around how they can improve things.
Yeah, the article basically makes it sound like they're like a total game changer for these trials.
Oh, interesting.
Like they're saying faster payments for the people participating, fewer delays, way less admin headaches for the finance teams. It sounds almost too good to be true.
I can see why you'd say that. It's a big claim for sure.
So I guess the big question here is, are these platforms really the secret weapon, the thing that clinical trials have been missing all along?
Right.
What exactly are these patient stipend platforms anyway?
Okay, so think of it like a centralized system, right?
Okay.
That handles every single thing, every little detail that has to do with paying the people participating in the trial.
Oh, wow.
So it'll like calculate how much each person should get based on, their individual schedule when they come in, all that.
Yeah.
Then it tracks like when those payments go out.
Mm-hmm.
It even gives kind of like real-time updates so that the sponsors, the research sites, everybody can actually see where the money is.
Okay.
It's meant to replace like, all that paperwork and the back and forth
Oh, I see.
that finance teams usually have to deal with.
So like instead of having somebody sit there with a giant spreadsheet,
Exactly.
it's all automated.
Exactly, yeah.
So from your experience, how much of a pain are all those administrative tasks? Like how much time are these finance teams actually spending on this stuff?
Oh, it's a lot. It's a significant amount of time, really. I
Yeah.
mean, think about it. You could have, I don't know, hundreds of participants, right, in a single trial.
Yeah.
Each one, they've got their own schedule of visits, their own travel expenses. Things change. Adjustments need to be made. To try and keep track of all of that manually, I mean, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And the thing is, if there's even a small error, right, it can have pretty serious consequences.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
So the article kind of goes beyond just simplifying the admin side, though, right?
Right.
It claims that these platforms can actually, like, really help trials run more smoothly overall.
Yes, definitely.
What's the thinking there?
Well, think about it this way. If payments are delayed, right,
Mm-hmm.
people get frustrated. It's just natural, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes that frustration can lead to people actually dropping out of the trial entirely.
Oh, wow.
And when that happens, it can have a ripple effect,
Okay.
It impacts the quality of the data that's being collected. And ultimately, it can slow down the whole research process.
That's a really good point. I hadn't even thought about the impact on data integrity.
Mm-hmm.
So how exactly does, like, participant retention affect the reliability of a trial's results?
Well, at its core, a clinical trial is basically a scientific experiment, right?
Right.
And to get good, reliable results, you need consistent data from a group of participants that's stable.
Mm.
If people start dropping out, especially because of something like payment problems,
Mm-hmm.
it throws things off. It introduces bias and makes it much harder to actually draw any meaningful conclusions from the results.
So these platforms, by making sure that payments are on time and accurate and all of that, they could actually contribute to the scientific integrity of the whole trial.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. They take away one of the biggest sources of frustration for the people who are participating. And that helps the researchers gather much more reliable data.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
The article also kind of makes a big deal about transparency
Right.
being one of the key benefits of these platforms. So how does that work in practice?
Well, instead of, everyone relying on spreadsheets and manual reports and things like that, everyone involved, sponsors, research sites, everyone, they have this dashboard
Okay.
that they can access, and it shows them, in real time exactly where every single payment is at.
Wow.
So that level of transparency, it can be really invaluable, to keep the budget on track, catch any potential issues before they become problems.
Right.
And it helps a lot with making sure that everything's compliant with regulations, all the rules, all that.
Okay, so just to recap, We've got these platforms. They're offering faster payments for the participants,
Oh, right.
transparency for sponsors and research sites, and they're taking a huge chunk of the workload off of those finance teams.
Yeah, that's a pretty good summary.
It seems like such a simple thing, right?
It does, yeah.
Just like payment processing.
Mhm.
But when you really zoom out and look at the big picture, it's incredible how much of an impact these small improvements can actually have.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, think about it. By streamlining this one, kind of crucial part of the process, they could actually help get these new treatments to market faster.
It really makes you wonder what other seemingly simple things are out there.
Yeah.
Things that could be revolutionized if we could just find a way to streamline them.
Yeah. That's an interesting thought for sure.
And, that's something to think about.
Yeah.
Until next time.
All right. See you then.